Alright, hello everybody. So welcome to our final lesson for this unit on the road to World War II. Today we're going to talk about how the U.S. Finally officially enters the war. So our objectives and standards are to analyze how oil was a source of conflict between Americans and the Japanese, and explain the attack on Pearl Harbor. And take a moment to please read over the standards. And our desired result is what was the result of the attack on Pearl Harbor. So Japanese goals. So Japanese leaders could spread their conquest with European countries such as Germany, France, England, Italy, all of them fighting in Europe. Japan felt that it was free to kind of expand its own goals because the fighting was going on in Europe, so nobody could stop them in Asia or the Pacific. Hideki Tojo, that gentleman right there, was the chief of staff for the Japanese army, and he has his eyes set on colonies and territories of European nations. The only problem is he has the United States and the islands of the Pacific, which stood in Japan's way. In July of 1941, Japan is going to conquer the French military bases in what was called Indochina. Today we know those countries as Vietnam, Laos, and Cambodia. Now the United States protested this action by Japan by cutting off trade with Japan, and Japan knows that it needs oil to continue its territorial goals, so it needs oil from the United States in order to keep expanding. So Japan either needed to make peace with the United States or seize the Dutch East Indies, which also had oil fields. So peace or preparation. Now Tojo promised the Emperor of Japan that he would try to keep the peace with the Americans, but secretly Tojo was planning to have the Japanese Navy attack. Now the United States was aware of an attack by Japan, but it did not know where or when it may be coming from. There's going to be the end of peace. Roosevelt sent out warnings to all military commanders in the Pacific and elsewhere that there may be a possible attack or invasion by Japanese military forces. And on December 6th, 1941, the United States actually decoded a message that told Japanese officials to stop peace talks with the United States. So he basically tells the Japanese ambassador in the United States, he tells Japanese officials to, that's it, no more talking to the Americans, peace is over. So Roosevelt now officially knows that he has to prepare for war. Again, not sure where it's going to happen, not sure how it's going to happen, but Roosevelt now knows that the Japanese are going to attack the United States somewhere, somehow, someday. Pearl Harbor will be attacked on December 7th, 1941. That picture there is a painting or depiction of Japanese aircraft attacking American forces at Pearl Harbor, which was a naval base used by the U.S. in Hawaii. So on December 7th, 1941, in the early morning hours, Japanese aircraft are going to bomb and attack the U.S. naval base. And after less than 2 hours, Japanese forces managed to kill 2,403 Americans and wounded 1,178 others. Now, the attack also damaged 21 ships and more than 300 aircraft. It basically destroyed a lot of the United States' naval fleet, it completely destroyed and sank a couple of ships and severely damaged some others. I'll show you some pictures of the actual footage of the attack on Pearl Harbor. So here is the actual real-time, not real-time, but actual footage of photos from Pearl Harbor. You can see, I believe this is the photo of the USS Arizona. I'm not quite sure, though. But you can also see the airfields over here attacked on the right-hand side. Draw an arrow there. We have some battleships that are sinking here. And again, you can just see, even though they're black and white, just, the smoke and the oil, just the total destruction and chaos that's going on as a result of this attack on Pearl Harbor. So reaction to this, Americans were, of course, absolutely shocked and devastated by the attack on Pearl Harbor. Many were also angry, and they want to take action. So the next day, Roosevelt will go to Congress and ask Congress to declare war on Japan, which it will decide. The United States will take about an hour to agree to vote to declare war on Japan, with only one person in Congress dissenting. 3 days later, Germany and Italy will turn around and declare war on the United States. So officially now, the United States will have entered World War II in terms of military action specifically. All right, so I hope you have a great rest of your day or evening. Please try your best on the questions that follow, and let me know if you have any questions, and I'll hopefully talk to you guys soon.